In today's video, we're going over the Dummy Gambit. I did not know what this was until this last weekend. Shout out to my guy Steve, who I met and who showed me this very fun gambit for white against the Alekhine Defense. This video is for those of you that play E4, and for those quicker time controls, you want to have a fun, tricky, trappy kind of chess game against Alekhine Defense. And this video is also for you Alekhine Defense players that want to know how not to get blasted by the Dummy Gambit. Okay, so that's what we're talking about in this video. Obviously, the Dummy Gambit is, it doesn't sound like a good gambit, and it's technically not, but it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of ways your opponent can mess things up. I also want to give a big shout out to FM William Graif, who has made some videos on this. I don't know if anyone else has actually on the Dummy Gambit beside him, but he has a lot of very interesting, chess opening theory content, tricks, traps, gambits, all that kind of stuff. And I know a lot of you guys, just like myself, really like the opening portion of the game of chess. So make sure to go over there and subscribe to his channel. I'll leave a link to his channel below. But yeah, here we have this move E4. We see the Alekhine Defense, and we play E5. Now here, the most common move for black is knight D5. That's the best move. You could play the Brooklyn variation, but if you're doing that, you're just trolling. H5 and G4, you can't go there unless you want to lose your knight, and E4 is not a great spot. So knight D5, here we play knight F3. In online chess, the most common move is D6, and once we attack that knight, the best move and the most common move is knight to B6. Here we're playing bishop takes F7 check, and we are in the Dummy Gambit. First things first, you gotta take the bishop. You got to. Okay, king D7, we throw in a check. You have a king on C6, we can throw in a check. If king D5, queen H5, if king C5, here B4 check's a great option. We're just going to be chasing this king around like crazy, and that king's just not going to survive. And if you do take the bishop, we now play this move of E6 with check. Now, a lot of players play knight G5. If you look at online chess, a lot of players go knight G5. And this gambit overall, by the way, guys, in online chess, does very well against black. Most Alekhine Defense players do not know what to do with this, and the stats show that. But I personally like this move of E6 check, just like my guy Steve, because I think there's more ways for black to mess this position up. Right, there's different ways that black can make a mistake here, and I think that E6 first is a fun option. You can try knight G5 as well, but I personally like this move of E6. Now, first things first, what's the refutation here? King to G8. King to G8 is by far black's best move, and we're going to be covering the refutation at the end of this video. But let's first cover some ways that black can go wrong. First off, if you play bishop takes E6, we throw in a check. And surprisingly enough, the engine move is king to F6, just marching forward. I was a little bit surprised to see that. Turns out king G8 or king E8, either one, E8 or G8. We're going to take off that bishop on E6, and we're going to keep this knight here as long as we can. If you try to kick it out, fine. Knight G5 would check, castle kingside. You can't even advance in the center because we're going to play this move D4, and this position is getting blasted open. Our king is castled. Our king is safe. Their king is not safe, and they cannot castle for the rest of the game. That king is already moved. And that's something very important to remember when you're playing the Dummy Gambit. You're luring that king out by playing bishop takes F7 with check. They cannot castle going forward, so they have to be very careful when it comes to king safety. Going back, if we see the best move of king to F6, in this case, we can throw in a check on F3. And again, there's so many landmines here, so many ways that black can mess this up. If you do play king takes G5, H4 would check. H4 would check, king H6, we have queen F4, and we're going to win that game the very next turn. And if king G6, we throw in a check, and here we can play queen E3 or check. Look, black only has one move. We take, black only has one move, and here, black doesn't have any moves. The game's over. Here, if we have the move bishop to F5, we can throw in this move G4, just going after that bishop. Black should really play this move of queen D7. That way, if we take, the queen can capture back. But we're not going to do that. We're going to throw in a check first, and king G6, another way that black can mess us up. Now, we can take on F5, and if the queen takes, we have a check on G1. That king is being attacked. You can block with the queen. You can run with the king, but in either case, your queen is going to drop. Going back to knight E4, if we see the best move of king F7, in this case, we can take on F5. Knight C6, let's throw in a check. Even if black got to this point, which they've been playing very well, a move like king to E8, queen H5, we're winning. Resignable position for black. Resignable. Right? I mean, you only got two choices. One of them, you play this move king to D8, in which case, okay, thank you for the rook. If you play G6, we capture. We're threatening G7 with check and promoting to a second queen while we capture off a rook. And if you take, okay, thanks for the rook on H8. So that's not great for black. And if we see the move of king g8, okay, we have about an even game here. Knight d8, we can capture back, play rook g1. The engine gives it around even, maybe a slight advantage to white, but I personally really like white's game here. We're not down material. We have an active queen. The pawn on f5 is really going after light squares like g6 and e6, and our rook is a monster going after that king on g8. And not to mention, it's going to be hard for black to develop in a position like this. That bishop on f8 cannot move right now, and practically it's going to be hard to find a way to do so. So there you go, right? e6 check. Bishop takes e6. In that case, we're able to play knight g5 with check, and we have at the very least an even game / slight advantage. So bishop takes e6, not a good move for black. What else does black have here? What about the move of king f6? Well, if they do this, black's just losing. Knight to d4, allowing this queen to get active in the game. Bishop takes e6 is the best move by far, but we still throw in a check. If you play king g6, taking the bishop's winning, but better than that is just continuing to go after the king. We're looking to play h5 with check, get that king on the c1 to h6 diagonal, and start getting busy with that dark squared bishop. And if black prevents that with h5, fine. We throw in a check, we throw in another check. If king e8, we can throw in another check on g6, throw in another check if we want to, play knight e6 there. Queen d7, queen g6. The game's over. You got to keep an eye on this short side diagonal when you're playing the dummy gambit. This is a diagonal that oftentimes decides the game. And if queen c8, we play knight c3. Again, anything goes there, either the knights, the queen. All right, game over. If we see a move like a6 trying to prevent us from our knight attacking the pawn on c7, we play a move like d4, maybe bishop g5 on the way. We're not even down material, and black's position is horrendous. Going back to e6. So we know that bishop takes e6, slight advantage for white if black plays it perfectly, which they probably won't. King f6, dead lost. What about the move of king g6? Well, now we just have a mate in 5. Knight h4 with check. If king h6, by the way, or king g5, right? In either of those cases, this bishop can get busy. We can throw in a check if g5, queen g4, threatening a mate. And for rook g8, we throw in a check on f5, and this game's over. That's it. Going back, if a move like king f6, staying off of that diagonal, we can still throw in a check. You can't take the pawn unless you want to get checkmated. And if king e5, we throw in a check. You have a king on d4, and here we got 1, 2, 3 different ways to checkmate the opponent's king on the spot. Going back to e6. So we know that bishop takes e6, king f6, and king g6 are really not great options for black at all. Bishop takes e6 is the best, whereas king f6 and g6 are just dead losing on the spot. What else could we see here? Well, the move of king e8. White's better. White's better here. We play knight g5, and the best thing that black can do is just go, you know what, I'm going to take off that pawn on e6. That's what we usually see in online chess. The third most popular move is this idea of pawn to h6. But again, guys, when you're playing the dummy gambit, every single move, look at this diagonal. Oh, you can play queen h5. Game over. That's it. The second most popular option from black there is playing g6. And by doing that, they do fix their issue of this short side diagonal. However, we play knight f7. The queen's done. The queen's done. Y'all, I have released 4 online chess courses. When you combine them all together, you got over 20 hours in content. If you're interested in one of them, 2 of them, 3 of them, all 4, all you got to do, go down in the description below, plug in the discount code 2024. And if it's 2024 when you plug that discount code in, you will get 30% off on any of the courses you decide to invest in. And again, the most popular move and best move in online chess for black is bishop takes e6. That's what we usually see. But then we get our material back. We got our material back. We have a knight on e6. This is a hole. For the rest of this game, no pawn can attack / defend that square of e6. So this is a major weakness that we're already taking advantage of. If a move like queen d7, we can play queen g4 defending it. If a move like h5, again, when you're playing this gambit, keep an eye on that short side diagonal. That's game over. And if a move like knight c6 here, guys, don't fall into the trap of taking on g7. Okay, it's just a pawn. Sure, you're up material now, but you know, we see something like queen e6. If we play king d1, rook g8 activating, we lose our pawn on g2. That's not great. And if a move like king f1, well, rook g8, and sure, we don't lose the pawn, but black still has great activity here. And our king is actually the one that's feeling less safe. So if you do see a move like knight c6, don't go after that pawn, right? You're kind of bailing black out there because sure, you get the pawn, but then this bishop isn't on the board anymore, and this is a terrible bishop, and our knight isn't on the board anymore, and it's fantastic. Just play a move like castling kingside. All right, if you see knight e5, all right, queen h3. It's going to be very hard for black to get rid of that knight. You have ideas here like f4, f5, knight c3. Put the pressure on black and you have a very fun game ahead. And I also wanted to mention here, I mean, if we do see something like c6, for example, maybe black going, you know what, I'm going to run with my queen. Well, we take off the rook and we're up 3 points in material. And on top of that, we have this queen h5 idea as a potential option. If we see g6, let's play queen g4. If you take on e6, queen h5 check, we can snatch off that pawn on h7. We're up material. Black is simply losing this, right? And finally, going back to e6 with check, the final thing that we got to cover, right? We already looked at king f6 and king g6. Those are both dead lost. The bishop takes e6 is okay, but black has to play perfectly there. King e8 isn't great for black. King takes e6 is surprisingly still better for black. The engine still says that black is better. Not as close as king g8, but this is still a good move for black. We can throw in a check. Of course, there's so many ways to mess this up. Black's got to run to d7 there. We play knight f7, queen e8. We can throw in a check. We could take the rook right away or throw in a check and then take, right? Really your preference there. But, you know, this does help the queen activate. And if a move like knight d5, I kind of like b3. Whole idea being if something like g6, we have bishop b2 and our knight has some support there. But if a move like knight f6, we can play queen g5. If you plug this into the engine, it's very interesting because, sure, we're up material here. We are. I mean, we're up the exchange. However, we do have that knight in the corner, and this knight really can't get out at the moment while saving itself. And if you plug in the main line into the engine, what you'll see here is it will show you 15 moves all the way down to move 27, in which case we're still up material. We still have that knight on h8, and it still can't get out. All right, so it's kind of an interesting line. Black's feeling the pressure of being down material. We're feeling the pressure of not wanting to just lose that minor piece, in which case black's going to be ahead in material and therefore have a 1 game. All that to say, objectively, black is better here, but just put the pressure on black. This is a position here that both sides can make a lot of mistakes very easily, and I still think that the dummy gambit in this line leads to a fun game. And finally, going to the move e6, the best move by far for black, king to g8. In that case, we can play knight g5. Still so many ways that black can mess this up. Black should play queen to e8, but let's say we see this move of h6, right? And this is a very playable kind of move, just playing h6, asking that knight what it wants to do. We could play knight f7 and take the rook, but then we're going to lose our knight, and that's actually not very good for us at all. We're actually just dead losing that kind of position. And yeah, it's just not great. So if we see this move of h6, you can play queen to f3. Whole idea being you are threatening a mate in 1. Mate in 1. If you see queen e8 stopping it, it doesn't stop anything. Queen f7, and we finish things off with e takes f7, checkmate, game over. If black decides to take the knight, also losing, we throw in a check. We don't have to go for a perpetual here. We can play the move of h4. If you take, rook captures back, checkmate. If you don't take, we're going to take you and just look to checkmate your king against a lot of different moves. And if you decide to go, you know what, I don't want you to take me on g5, I'm going to push a g4, we can play h5. We're looking towards h6, just a nasty idea there. Black can't even take. We're then going to be looking to capture on g7 with check against that king. And really the best thing that black can try to do is bishop takes e6, but don't take this bishop right away. If you do that, right, if you take on e6, black has time to play queen d7, and our attack is actually running out of steam there. Instead, throw in a check and then take. And then play queen f7, right? Very beautiful idea there. Beautiful idea. Again, don't take right away because of queen d7. Throw in a check, take queen f7. h6, again, is still an idea. And according to the engine, queen e8 is the best move. And okay, thanks for the queen. Black's position is resignable. Finally, what's the best move here for black in this kind of position? Well, the best move is rook h7. And if you see that, you can throw in a check. You can take on h7, play a move like d4. If a move like knight c6, you have c3. White does have an advantage here. I'm not going to say we're winning, but we do have an edge. And we're going to start looking towards launching these g and h pawns towards black like crazy. Again, guys, there's just so many ways that black can go wrong here. Going back to knight g5, if queen e8, we can play queen f3. h6 here, big mistake. Queen f7 check, and yet again, game over. What about this move of g6? Well, this turns out to be the only move here, guys. I'm showing you the main line here. I'm showing you how black should respond. In this position, this is the only move that is not losing for black. It's winning for black, but that's the only move. Anything else, white's winning. Anything else. I don't care what you play. g6, black's got to do it here. And in that case, according to the engine, we play a4. At this point, I'm kind of running out of steam, guys, in terms of what to recommend. We're just dead losing now. You know, the engine says play a4. If h6, we can play knight f7. you know, that's one way to go about it. If you see bishop takes e6, you can capture off the rook, and in this case, don't take off the pawn. You're going to see bishop t5 and then a move like bishop takes g2 and bishop c6, potentially knight a6, and your queen is donezo. That's a ball game for the queen. And going back to king takes h8, again, don't take that pawn on b7. Just continue with a move like castling kingside. You are sitting down in material here, right? You are down in material. You're down 2 minor pieces for a rook. And yeah, we're losing. But, you know, there's still some chances here if black ends up making a mistake. Still a lot of pieces on the board. Going back to knight f7, if we see a move like rook h7, here you can play queen e4, you know, eyeing up that pawn on g6. If black wants to take, all right, we can throw in a check. Yet again, only one move here for black. That is winning. King h8, we take on f7, attacking the queen, threatening mate in 1. If we see rook g7, thanks for the queen. If we see bishop g7, we take on f7 with check. I would personally probably not trade down here. I would probably play a move like queen to g3. Just try to keep some material on the board. But after knight c6, black here with much better development than we have, and they have a 1 position. So again, the dummy gambit, so much fun. I feel like there's a lot of gambits where you kind of just make little cheap tricks and traps and you hope that they do the silly move. But against the dummy gambit, you actually have to play with a very high level of accuracy. And if you don't, you can lose the game on this spot. All that to say, if you do play it correctly, you're winning as black. So if you do play the Alekhine Defense, memorize the following line. We're just going to go back to the start. So you see this move e4, knight f6, centralize your knight. Play this move g6, chipping away at that center. Bishop c4, play knight b6. You don't got to be worried about this. You are objectively winning this position. If e6, you can play king to g8. Key move there. Very key move. If knight g5, queen e8. Don't fall into h6, guys, please. Play g6 there. That's the only move that you have that gives you a 1 game and isn't losing. And yeah, there's a lot of different things that white can do there, but if a move like a4 or something, you can kick that knight around. If knight f7, you can either take the pawn on e6 and just, you know, go, you know what, take my rook, that's fine. Or you can play rook h7 and then look to capture on f7 with that rook. If a move like queen takes, you got bishop g7, trading down knight c6, and black here is winning the game. Let me know what you thought of the dummy gambit down below, and let me know if you want to see any more dummy type chess on this channel going forward. Guys, I hope y'all enjoyed today's video, and just a quick reminder that in addition to the 30% off all online courses sale this month, we wanted to also give a 20% off sale on our physical merch all December. We got shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more on the merch shelf below, and we got a lot more on the website, so check them out and use the code WINTER20 for 20% off. On top of that, I wanted to give a big shout out to my Patreon supporters for the month of December in 2024. I appreciate you guys a ton. It's been great getting to know you. And yeah, I'm just humbled by your support. And if you guys haven't thought about joining the Patreon community before, there's some exclusive benefits that you gain by becoming a member. And I look forward to seeing you over there on the platform. Peace.